It's James Prigioni coming to you live from Jersey. Today is November 11th. I'm in the food forest. It's still green, still producing some food, but tonight we're supposed to get a hard frost. So I wanted to go through, show you how everything's doing. Let's go. Right off the bat, you guys can see how green everything is and that we're getting good production. Right up to the frost, you can see those eggplants right here. Really beautiful pepper right underneath it. More peppers over there. I'm gonna have to come through and harvest everything before the frost comes through and just softens everything up. I don't want that. It's just been a great year. Best year ever by far. 10 times more than last year. And next year we're gonna do 10 times more than this year. Production wise and on every level. That persimmon tree looks beautiful. Hoping to get great persimmons from that next year. But I have a really cool persimmon video coming up for you guys. You won't believe how beautiful the tree is. And this apple tree had great growth this year. It's huge. I'll do a pruning video on that. Show you how I'm gonna get higher production next year just by doing some pruning. And look at the beautiful color on that cherry. Wow. I can't remember right now. I think that's a Rainier cherry actually. Doing well for us. I was in here moving a little mulch. If you guys have seen that video I just posted previously. And look at all this production still underneath the trees, guys. Who's doing that? And the kale over here is doing it right. We had one incident though with Tuck. He just gets too excited. He came through and ripped one of the kales right out of the ground. You can see one was right here. He ripped it out. It's okay though. Still got enough for us to snack on, and I got more kale just spread out throughout the garden, filled in spots wherever I felt like putting it, wherever I got enough adequate sunlight. I love growing in spots that people think you can't. Got a lot of stuff coming up on its own, self-seeding. Cilantro always loves to come up at the time of year when we need to eat it, so that's when I come out and eat it. So good. The parsley too, so good for you. There's a number of plants coming up on their own and self-seeding. Now that a lot of the mulch and stuff has broken down. Over here I saw some dill earlier. Yeah, right here. Some delicious dill. So even something like plant identification is important. So you know what you can come snack on. You know what's important, what not to pull out. Like you might have forgot that you planted a currant here. But you got to be able to identify and know that that's a currant, so you don't come through and pull it out thinking it's a weed. I can notice things when they're really young, just from doing it over time. Even something like I've got over here, I'll show you. I've got a lemon balm coming up, and most people wouldn't notice it, I guess, right away, but since I've been doing it for years, it's something you can pick up right away. You notice it's a lemon balm, and then what do you do to make sure? Just pick it, smell it, and yeah, that's definitely lemon balm. I love that smell. And over here I can see I've got calendula coming up. Right here, beautiful flower that's coming up on its own. So I won't have time to finish, but plant identification can save you, and if you want to do self-seeding, you really want to know plant identification so you can choose when they're young what you want to keep and what you want to get rid of. We got some more production on these tomatoes, still have to come out and get them. Eat these ones up. The sweet treats, look at that. Right up to the last day of frost, still getting production like that. Beautiful. That plant has done real well. I don't think I'll be growing them again next year though, just because I want to switch it up. They tasted good, but they weren't just over the top enough for me. Something like the soldaki is one that I'll be keeping, and I'll be growing again next year because of reliability. Look at that nice giant tomato the day before the frost. I mean, it doesn't look that beautiful, but it'll taste great. And I know I got some more stuff ready back here, some more tomatoes over here. So many green tomatoes if I want to pick them and do some fried green tomatoes. Peppers ready. More tomatoes back there. I see some peppers over here, some eggplant. And I noticed a lot of weeds coming up in the in between the hugelkultur mounds. And that just means that I need to come through and mulch it. We've got a lot of funguses too. A lot of mushrooms, which is beautiful. Means we got a lot of mycorrhizal association probably, because we got the funguses growing down in there. All that mulch over the years, putting the leaves down and everything, really has built a beautiful, beautiful soil back here. Not only did I put wood chips back here, but I put a lot of leaves in the past. And that's how you get the life. That's how you get this soil structure. Look, squeeze it as hard as I can, it'll just crumble right back up. So the life in the soil is what creates that beautiful structure. And right here, there's even some tomatoes growing. Came up on their own. They won't make it, but just good to know it with identification again. What you're growing. You're really gonna need to know if you wanna do a food forest. And look at this guy. Still holding some peppers. That one's overripe, but that one's good and ready to eat, as well as that one. Some more tomatoes over here ready. Looking delicious, really good. And that tomato, so I'm gonna have to come through, like I said, harvest a lot of this stuff. And look at this Bing cherry. What a beautiful tree. Great structure. Looks like it's gonna have a lot of fruit next year. I'm already getting excited for that one. And the almond tree did real well this year. Had a lot of nice growth. I'm gonna do some pruning, pick some of my favorite branches, let those grow through. Maybe we'll get some flowers, get some fruit, get some almonds next year. And I'm gonna have to do a lot of pruning with the grapes and stuff. That's something I'm gonna show you guys how to prune if you are interested, because pruning the grapes is a lot of fun. I know some people are questioning me on how I got them to grow straight up that and just have the leaves up top, so that's something I can show you as well in the future. And you know those strawberries are coming back through because they don't quit. And they love this kind of weather when it gets cooler at night. And you can see this peach tree here, how open I prune it to allow the sunlight and the airflow to come through. Most of the leaves and the fruit was all up top here. This way the fruit could get that sunlight. If you go back to my videos when I was harvesting the peaches, you can see the beautiful blush, the beautiful color they had. And I attribute a lot of that to open it up to the sunlight. I think that really made the difference. I'm gonna have my work cut out for me pruning these grapes. It's just insane. Look at the size of the vines though. These are monsters. Yeah, big vines. The other one's just as big and just as healthy. That was the Catawba, this is the Niagara. Beautiful. That's from about 5 or 6 years of growth. Here we've got the Honeycrisp apple, and it's growing underneath the grapes a little bit, but still doing well. Hoping to get some good fruit on that next year. And again, I gotta do some pruning on that one. On the side garden, the strawberries have just matted the ground over here. Doing so well. And more stuff to come harvest. More of these clary baby cheese peppers. A lot of them, and more eggplants that still need to be harvested. Like I said, a bunch of green tomatoes, if you wanna fry those up or something. And I love what the blueberries look like at this time of year. The coloration is just beautiful. I've got a couple of them just stunning, the color. It's like some more ripe tomatoes in here. And another beautiful blueberry. Some peppers back there hidden in behind this blueberry. Looks like. And under the raspberries, nice peppers in there. Look like the new Ace peppers. And this is one of my favorite looking blueberries. Just the colors on this one, just I think it's so beautiful. Wow, that right there could be beautiful edible landscaping, without a doubt. And the black-cap raspberries, those things are going off, going crazy. I got my work cut out for me regarding pruning, but it's gonna be fun because I'm gonna get a huge harvest out of these next year, and I love these. They taste so good. The elderberry's coming right out of them. It's the next day now. The frost came through, really heavy, down to 21 degrees. So we lost basically all the annuals. That's all right though, we had a great season. I can't believe how much food we got and how long we got to grow for. What a blessing. But man, did it get chilly last night. I wonder, some of these tomatoes, I didn't get all of them. I had so many. Yeah, they're frozen solid. Let me take this off and just, yeah, that's how cold it got. Frozen solid. But still, I mean, with it getting frozen solid, I really think that this system helped to maintain a higher temperature and keep everything alive with the soil level, just because it stays warmer due to the activity of all the life. And I've talked about that in a previous video. Look at the kale. I thought this was done. 21 degrees. Nope, it's still going. This looks like it'll survive. I think it will. It's got a little bit of that clear damage it gets from the frost, but I really think it's gonna come back. I hope so. It's not getting as much as that translucent, soft feeling, but if the sun comes through and blasts it too hard, it will. So if you guys know, if frost is on your plants and then the sun comes through and hits it while the frost's on it, that's really bad for the plant. But if you got frost on your plants in the morning and you shade those like this, that'll really help the plant get through that frost, because it'll you know, happen slowly rather than too rapidly and stress the plant out too bad. And from that frost, we really started to drop a lot of leaves. Look at the ground in here. This is just like a natural forest. Look at the leaf drop everywhere. Beautiful. This is going to be covering itself, fertilizing itself, and just being self-sustaining, self-replicating. Look at that leaf drop. Beautiful. So that heavy frost, it might have finished us growing the annuals for the year, but we're not done. Believe me, we're not done. Just because the frost is coming doesn't mean I'm going to stop producing content. I got some tricks up my sleeve, so I got more stuff on the way. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for following along, guys. And remember, you can't eat from a tree you don't plant. See you in the next one.